What's up? What's happening, Syracuse Nation? Welcome back to another very, very weird episode of Orange Rush. So, right off the bat, you can probably tell Landon's not here. It's just gonna be me today. And I can already hear your guys' thoughts, like, where have the episodes been? So, we haven't posted in the past 2 weeks. Landon has been very, very, very busy. And I didn't want to put up an episode without him, but 3 weeks of that episode, come on, that can't happen. So, I've been trying to urge him, like, come on, we have to record, we have to get an episode up, but he's been way too busy. So, I'm gonna have to record without him today and post this without him, but, he's here in spirit, he's here in our hearts. So, football talk. Where do I start? I guess I should start with the Clemson game. 2 weeks ago, we played the Clemson Tigers. Man, so I went to that game, I was hopeful. I was pretty hopeful. I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe we could do this. So, first half didn't, wasn't ideal, but it wasn't awful. Like, it was kind of mid, but first half was okay. We went to halftime. Clemson had 14 points. We had 7. Okay, we're down 1 touchdown. Not bad, right? Second half. I don't know what the hell happened, but we were just not ready. Like, we played pretty bad. A lot of people have been saying stuff about the ACC refs, and I'll get more into it when we get into UNC, but there were a lot of horrible calls that game. And I'm not saying that this is like the game decider. I'm not saying that as an excuse on why we lost, but there were a lot of really, really crappy calls. And it definitely had an impact. Not saying that's why we lost completely, but I'm saying that there was definitely an impact. Overall, though, penalties aside, we played pretty bad. And I'm not saying this to diss the team whatsoever, by the way. I'm just saying it how it is. Like, I walked out of the dome just feeling like, man, like, what did I just watch? So, yeah, there was at one point though in the second half, there was a point where there was hope, and I forgot what the score was. I would have to look. I want to say it was like early in the fourth quarter. I think we scored a touchdown and we were down. I don't know how much we were down. We weren't down by a whole lot though. And all the fans were getting, they're like, the momentum had been with Clemson for so long, but all of a sudden there was this huge momentum switch, and all of a sudden all the Syracuse dome, or all the Syracuse fans in the dome were on their feet again, cheering again, and I had hope again. But then yeah, that all went to crap. And oh wait, let me say this also. Our offense like literally just couldn't get anything going. Like that's also something. Our defense literally carried the entire game. Like, obviously Clemson won 31-14, but the defense really, really held them off. Like, in my opinion. I mean, okay, one good thing that did come out of the Clemson game was we finally got a game where we could see Dan Villari in action. I thought that was awesome. Like, he got a touchdown and everything, and he had some good plays. And I was so proud of him because, when he came in from, where did he come in from? Michigan. As a quarterback, I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. And obviously, we didn't, pick him to start as quarterback. And so he switched positions to tight end, and he did great that game, and it really gives me hope because obviously with Aranda Gadsden hurt, it's like, okay, tight end position is wide open. Like, what do we do? And seeing Dan Villari just, being able to do that stuff and that trickery, like that trick play where he threw the ball, like, it was great. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Clemson game. I'm loving Dan Villari. Offense needs to do better. Defense did pretty good. But now we're getting into UNC. And if you thought the Clemson game was bad, whew, you are not ready for this game. Because this game I turned off this game in the late third quarter, which is saying a lot because I try my very, very best to watch Syracuse games to the full, the start to finish. I just couldn't do it for this game. And we lost 7-40. 7-40. We let them score 40 points on us, and our offense only scored 7. I got a lot of deja vu from last year. We were 6-0, which in this case we were 4-0. But last year we were 6-0. We go to Clemson. We lose to Clemson by, I forgot how. I think it was a touch, it was a 1-score loss, which is fine. To the Clemson Tigers, I'll take that any day. And we played really, really good in the first half of that game. But the second half is when it all went downhill of the Clemson game last year. And we did pretty bad the rest of our season last year after that game. This season, we start 4-0. We go into Clemson. We play okay in the first half. Second half is when it all goes downhill. Now we just lost to UNC 70-40. I am seeing a major repeat here, and it's disappointing, to say the least. I'm disappointed as a fan, and I love this team so much, and you guys know that. You all know I love this team, but this is ridiculous. I'm speaking the truth. I'm not. This is just me, speaking, from the heart, from the brain. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed. The offense played horribly. The defense played pretty bad. I mean, let me look at the stats real quick. It's crazy. 11 first downs versus 33. We threw 2 interceptions. UNC threw 0. They only punted once. They had 97 total plays. We only had 51. That can't happen. That can't happen. It can't happen. I don't have much to say about this game because I was only half paying attention after the first quarter. It's just very disappointing. we couldn't get anything going on any part of the ball besides maybe punting. Jack Stonehouse did a pretty good job with punting, but I mean, nothing came of it. So, it's just really disappointing. And I think the worst thing about this is that we have FSU next week. I'm recording this on Friday. We have FSU tomorrow. Let me rephrase. We have FSU tomorrow. This week. Tomorrow we have FSU at FSU. If we lost 70-40 to UNC at UNC, I can only imagine what this game is going to look like. And I hate it. I hate it. And I really don't want it to go the way I think it's gonna go, but I don't know what to say, man. I mean, for us to win this FSU game, we have to wake up. Offensively, we have to really wake up offensively. 7 points against UNC. That is horrible. That is horrible. It's horrible. Defensively, maybe the defense just had a down game. Maybe. But we need to wake up there. We need to wake up there too. But most importantly, offense. Because this is the same thing that happened last year. Our defense was okay last year. Like, even after the Clemson game, the defense still delivered for like the next couple of games. But our offense just shut down completely. And that's what's happening again this year. That's what I'm seeing. And, I keep saying this, but it's disappointing. And I hope that they come back. But it's to the point where it's like, realistically, are they going to? And can they come back? And it's, judging off last year, it's kind of like, probably not. So, I don't want to say that our season's over, because it's not. We're halfway through the season. But, it's going in the same direction as last season, and I mean, we can either win out or we can lose out, or anything can happen. We're the Syracuse Orange. Anything can happen, but we have to wake up. Okay, let me get into the referees a little bit here for the UNC game. Everybody is very, very mad about, some of the penalties in the UNC game. I was mad too. I was very mad. Syracuse blocked a punt from UNC. And UNC recovered the punt and the punter from UNC recovered it and started to run for the first down marker. And one of our guys, I forgot who it was, pushed him out of bounds, probably a yard before the first down mark, and the refs marked him, marked it as a first down. And so Dino Babers, I mean, everybody was like, what? That's not a first down, because he was literally like a yard behind the first down line. And everybody could see it. Even the commentators were like, I don't think this is a first down. And, I don't think there was any review on it or anything. And it was ridiculous. I was really mad at it, and I remember seeing a tweet. I forgot who it was, but they were like, only Syracuse could block a punt and then the other team recover it and get a first down out of it. And I was like, that's so true. Like, and you know what though, with the penalties and stuff, there was also a lot of questionable penalties in the UNC game, like there was in the Clemson game, and we have to remember that yes, those calls were very crappy, but that's not the reason, they're not the reason why we lost. We didn't lose because of the penalties. We lost because we played horribly. Like, yeah, it did have a little bit of an impact, but even if those penalties didn't happen, there's an 100% chance we still would have lost. So, like, I don't mean to be negative Nancy here, but like that's the bottom line. I'm just being 100% honest. We still would have lost either way. And yes, it would be, great to see them, call the right things, but at the same time, we still would have lost. So it really doesn't matter that much. And hoping for some fair refereeing in the future. So, yeah. FSU, playing FSU tomorrow at 12. Like we gotta. FSU is a hard team. Like we gotta do something. We gotta at least put up a fight. Like we didn't even put up a fight against UNC. We gotta put up a fight against FSU. Because if we don't, we're gonna get blown out. Like bottom line, like I said, I don't want to be negative. I'm just speaking the truth. I'm speaking my mind here. And I hope they prove me wrong. I said this with Clemson. I'm going to say it here. I hope they prove me wrong. They didn't prove me wrong for Clemson, but I hope they prove me wrong this week. So yeah, on that note, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I do want to say though, before we go, obviously, we didn't post an episode for the Clemson week, and we lost to Clemson. And we didn't post an episode for the UNC week, and we lost to UNC. Every week we have posted, we have won. So, I'm not saying our podcast is magic or anything, but if we win this week, which is very unlikely, but if we do, maybe our podcast is good luck or something. I'm just saying. So, yeah, with that, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I really, really hope that we can at least do something against FSU. I don't expect us to win, but I at least hope that we can put up a good fight. And we have a much, much needed bye week next week after FSU. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. Go Orange.